The old cars are great to have, but the people that you've met through the years is really what makes it all worthwhile.
Motor Trend Network's Chasing Classic Cars has been entertaining gearheads since 2008. It was the only automotive-themed reality television show that debuted on cable TV in Discovery Channel that year and has captured the hearts of car enthusiasts for over a decade. The show's longevity could be attributed to the ingenuity and charm of its main star, Wayne Carini. The master car restorer had proven in almost 200 episodes that his restoration skills were second to none, and his impeccable reputation opened the doors of the most exclusive garages of popular car collectors to millions of viewers. While the show enjoyed success over 16 seasons, it also had some low moments that fans thought could have officially ended its run. The man behind the success of Chasing Classic Cars, Wayne Carini, has a lifetime of experience in building, restoring, and upgrading cars. Not all car-related reality TV shows could claim that their main star has legitimate extensive knowledge and efficiency in classic car restoration. There was no need for TV producers to be creative in showing a padded resume just to make their main star incredibly competent in the eyes of the viewers. His experience in tinkering with cars could be traced way back to when he was in grade school, but his grooming on classic car appreciation actually started when he was 9 months old. His parents, Rosemary and Bob Carini, told him that they brought him along to his first car show when he wasn't even a year old. They went to Detroit with a restored Model A on the trailer, as his father was a classic car restorer. After that event, Wayne would be dragged by his parents to the annual events, such as the Hershey Antique Car Show in Pennsylvania, organized by the Antique Automobile Club of America. Wayne said that he didn't have any choice, since it was his father's profession, and since Bob was so into the Hershey annual event, their whole year was focused on restoring around 2 to 3 cars that they would take there. Wayne said he was lucky that his father made sure that he had first-hand experience on the ins and outs of the car restoration business, and not just in theory. For instance, back then he assisted his father as they plotted all the locations of the Ford dealers around an area they would be visiting so that they could acquire all the parts that the stores were willing to let go. They did things differently in the 1950s, as most of the dealers just stored brand new parts of a Ford Model A somewhere in the attic or a barnyard, as most of them thought that they were junk now and eventually forgot about them. When they hit those stores and asked if they still had those parts, the owners were willing to sell them at a very cheap price, as they didn't know what else to do with them. His father was eventually able to sell them for 10 times their original cost, whatever he paid. While he was raised in a comfortable lifestyle, Wayne's father was keen on teaching him the value of hard work when he was in his teens. Instead of playing with his friends, he would spend around 3 to 4 hours in his father's auto shop after school to help clean and sand parts, along with watching the mechanics and technicians while they worked. Wayne learned from the best, and his father's system in chasing classic cars was, in his eyes, just perfect. Back then, there were no online sites, no social media apps, and no mobile phones to make things easier. It was pure hard work, buying past issues of automotive-related magazines and broadsheets, such as Hemmings Motor News and the New York Times, respectively. His days would be spent diligently scouring all news or ads on anything about classic cars and moving on to the right moment to get a bargain price. Most of his life revolved around going to car shows, chasing parts, chasing cars, and then doing the work on classic vehicles. Unlike most reality TV stars, Wayne Carini's road to stardom wasn't accidental. When Jim Ostrowski, an executive from the production company Essex TV, was looking for automotive-related content that they could present to Discovery Channel, he came upon a July 2006 article about a certain master car restorer from the rural part of Connecticut. Wayne had been featured in the New York Times Sunday edition, covering his fixation on chasing a vintage Hudson Italia. Something about Wayne appealed to Jim, and he immediately contacted the restorer. Wayne was then featured in 2 of Discovery Channel's car-related documentaries, Monterey Week and The World's Most Expensive Cars. He was such an authority on classic car restorations that he was able to give the producers a peek into the world of prestigious car shows and extraordinary car collections. His collaboration was well appreciated by car enthusiasts, and so it gave Essex TV the idea that Wayne could be the ideal main star of a new automotive reality TV show they were creating at that time. He didn't immediately say yes to the proposal because he didn't have any idea of what doing a weekly show entailed, as he wasn't an actor or equipped to be an effective host. Jim assured Wayne that he didn't expect him to follow any script, as they wanted the TV show to be as natural as possible. The premise of the TV series was that they would just follow Wayne in hunting for a classic car, as it was what he normally did in a regular working day, and then the restoration process with his lead mechanic, Roger Barr, as well as how he flipped it when it was finished to earn a profit. When it was presented to him in that way, he inked a TV deal with them, and Chasing Classic Cars made his television debut on the 3rd of June 2008 on Discovery Channel's Velocity, which was later on rebranded as Motor Trend Network. Success didn't come easy for the TV show, as it took years to get the high TV ratings that they aimed for. While it wasn't an instant hit, the slow climb ensured them the longevity that other shows were not able to achieve. They gained loyal viewers over the years, and the appreciation level from these fans increased so that by the time social media became common in 2012, an online community of gearheads was constantly talking about the series. Here are two examples of how Wayne earned significant profit in chasing classic cars. Wayne contacted his billionaire friend Herb Chambers after he saw a few Polaroids of a 1972 Ferrari 365 GTB4 Daytona Spider and compared the chassis number with the paperwork from the database he had from Herb's long-lost Ferrari. It was a match. He knew Herb would be ecstatic to find that his first Ferrari had been sitting in a garage for the past 30 years and was up for sale. They went to the garage to take a look, and Wayne knew that his friend was hooked the moment they saw the car and its condition. He still did his work there, inspecting it thoroughly, and eventually agreeing to buy it for $1 million. It took Wayne over a year to restore it, as he didn't want to take any shortcuts, but he never revealed how much he charged his friend for it. Fans believed it was quite hefty. The Herb Chambers episode was aired during the first season of the show. The master car restorer was extremely excited when he learned that there was a rare 1921 unrestored Stud Series K Bearcat in a Georgia barn, and immediately had it brought to his auto shop, paying $30,000 for it. To efficiently restore it to its pristine condition, he consulted with Evan Ide, a known studs expert. They were able to have it ready for the 2015 Pebble Beach Concorde Elegance, and even won an award. He flipped it for $600,000 at a Bonhams auction. After the end of every season of chasing classic cars, loyal fans experienced a few months of apprehension, wondering whether it would be back the following year, most especially if there wasn't an official announcement of the date of its new season premiere. It took time for some network executives to decide, as they still had to make an assessment as to whether a show would be renewed or not, often based on ratings. There were times when fans were left grief-stricken, as they were kept in the dark as to why their favorite TV show was cancelled. Not all TV executives offered an official explanation, probably not wanting to be the bearer of bad news, or to spare the main cast from the embarrassment of going through details as to why they decided to end it. However, most of the time, TV fans turned into sleuth hounds and would investigate the story behind any issue that a TV show encountered, whether rumored or legitimate, to warrant a cancellation. Chasing classic cars was no different for any of them, as cancellation rumors would often surface online. Following are some of the reasons given. Fans loved the chemistry between Wayne and his lead mechanic Roger Barr. They met when Wayne was 10 years old. At the time, his father and Roger would support each other's businesses by referring clients to each other's shops. All those who had mechanical problems with foreign cars went to Roger's shop, and those who needed bodywork on their cars went to Bob's shop. The two had mutual respect, even if they weren't exactly close friends. Wayne was aware of Roger's skills and hired him, even though the mechanic was already 65 years old. When Chasing Classic Cars started filming, Roger was automatically included in the package since he was working at Wayne's shop. The premise of the show was to follow Wayne's transactions as a car restorer, and Roger would always be consulted on each project that was tackled in every episode, until he ceased appearing in the show. Without explanation, fans were quite puzzled as to what happened to him, since there was never any indication of trouble in the last few episodes he had appeared in. Initially, many thought that Roger had medical issues, and so could no longer perform his duties. It was rumored that he suffered an infection acquired while working in the shop, a quite plausible explanation, which many fans believed. However, it seemed that having health issues wasn't the only reason why Roger left the show. He cleared many misconceptions surrounding himself on a Facebook page that his wife and son managed. Basically, he posted an explanation that gave a clear indication of what had happened. "I have not retired. I kept asking to come back to work and was told no work. Also, in the mail, I received notice that I was involuntarily terminated. No one from the TV show personally informed him that he was fired." People were shocked that the producers were so incredibly insensitive to think that he had been part of Chasing Classic Cars since its first season. He further revealed that he was never paid any appearance fee in the show, but only received a regular salary from being Wayne's employee. Fans were appalled by that too, knowing that the show might not have been successful at the start, but at some point, it became a huge hit for Discovery Channel. He also cleared some of the misconceptions that were thrown online about his accumulated net worth, saying that it came from someone's imagination. So, to misinform viewers, he didn't have a net worth of $1.3 million, and in fact, still needed to work hard to make ends meet. The GoFundMe page organized by a fan became not only his lifesaver, but also a home saver. Some fans were quite upset about the whole episode, and left comments supporting him on his social media accounts. It could have presented a huge problem for the TV show, as negative comments about any topic could easily be spread these days due to the popularity of social media. However, Roger wasn't a vengeful person and didn't want to dwell in the past. He was not the type to hold a grudge against anyone, but he'd like to have the power tools he'd left in Wayne's auto shop returned. He believed that he might need a lawyer's assistance to acquire them, so everything would be settled without a hitch. The first 4 seasons of Chasing Classic Cars had 13 episodes, and although it increased up to 26 episodes in the seasons that followed, after that, there were some with only 10 episodes or less. Each time the number of episodes decreased for a season, fans would automatically wonder if something was wrong, and dreaded the possibility of a cancellation. The fewest episodes, only 4, that were shown in a season were at the time when Roger Barr was no longer part of the series, but it could also be due to the movement restrictions and quarantine regulations resulting from the COVID-19 pandemic. People often forget that companies in the entertainment industry only survive if they're doing well financially. So the fastest and most common way for a TV show to be cancelled was for financial reasons. To arrive at that unfortunate decision, network executives would have seen a constant drop in its viewership ratings, which would mean low subscription revenue or advertising profit. Chasing Classic Cars was lucky in the sense that its network executives let it slide when it wasn't an instant hit. Other shows were axed after a season or 2 of low TV ratings. Fans never realized that it took Wayne and the TV show years before it reached a 58% TV rating in its time slot. The Essex production company had the deal of a lifetime with Wayne Carini when the TV show started. There were reports back then that Wayne's initial contract with the network indicated that he wouldn't receive any compensation for hosting the show, as the exposure of his brand would be beneficial enough and bring huge profits to his business. This lessened the production cost immensely. It wasn't clear whether his contract changed when the TV show became successful, but as a result, the TV show lasted longer than other car-themed reality TV series. Except for Wheeler Dealers, the ratings might sometimes dip into the uncomfortable numbers, but they always bounced back to become one of the flagship shows on the Motor Trend Network.
Thank you for spending some time with us. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss another video. We also handpick these videos which we recommend you watch next. You can talk to us on all social medias or ask a question in the comments below. Thank you for being with us, and we'll see you back tomorrow.